India's data localization bill has become a nightmare for several American tech giants. Now, this has prompted US Ambassador to India to say that India should rethink the regulations.
Data localization, that it is legitimate to be concerned about data privacy, but do not construct these laws in a way that will make it more difficult for India to be a hub for technology companies all over the world. That's what you want. You want to be able to attract people, and so you can have innovation that serves the global market, not just the Indian market.
The draft law recommends restrictions on data flow and proposes that all critical personal data should be processed only within the country. Stricter localization norms would help India get easier access to data when conducting investigations, but critics say that it could lead to increased government demands for data access. US trade groups representing companies like Amazon, American Express and Microsoft have opposed the bill. They claim that such a move could hamper planned investments in the Indian markets. The big concern for the US tech firms is that the proposed law would force them to set up local data centers, which in return would raise their operational costs. The US technology giants are also considering pitching this issue as a trade concern in the upcoming US-Indo talks, which is scheduled for September this year. And this is also being seen as a factor that can undermine the already strained Indo-US economic relationships. Now, new restrictive data localization laws have forced businesses to make decisions about a data storage scheme. Now, with China, a global leader in this realm, China requires that important data concerning Chinese citizens should be stored and processed locally. In fact, Google is now planning to launch a censored version of its search engine in China that will blacklist websites and search terms about human rights, democracy, religion, even peaceful protests. And the project, codenamed Dragonfly, has been underway since spring last year and accelerated following a December 2017 meeting between Google's CEO Sundar Pichai and top Chinese government officials. Data localization policies vary around the world. In 2012, Australia enacted the Personally Controlled Electronic Health Records Act. Now, that requires that personal data records be stored only in Australia. Then in Bulgaria in 2012, it enacted a new law, the Gambling Act. Now, that required applicants for a gaming license to store all data related to operations in Bulgaria locally. Then in Malaysia in 2010, it enacted the Personal Data Protection Act. Personal data cannot be transferred outside Malaysia unless the action has been approved by the Malaysian government. Even Vietnam has extensive data localization policies in place as part of the broad efforts to control internet-based activity for both political and commercial purposes.